Hello.
Hello.
Really nice to see you, and it's really nice to see everybody who is watching this morning, or if you're watching back later this week. Welcome to our Sunday conversation, which this week is coming from 2 locations. Ooh, it's very exciting. Rachel is with us. Rachel, you're in Cambridgeshire?
Suffolk.
Yeah. Further away. And I am at home, as always, in my conservatory. So it's really nice to see you, Rachel. Thank you for joining us for this conversation. And if you were here last week, you'll know that we are looking back at the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, which is the book by John Mark Comer, which we started as a church back in the autumn, and we are revisiting it to just look at this whole spiritual discipline of the Sabbath. And if you haven't watched any of our videos before, you can find them all on our website, and we would love you to get a copy of the book. Let us know if that's tricky for you, and we'll help you to do that, and so that you can join in with this amazing journey that we're on to eliminate hurry and walk our lives the way that Jesus did. So we're going to get going now. So Rachel, I know that you guys as a family, so you're married and you've got 2 kids, and you have been kind of journeying this journey towards a Sabbath, or to have a go at Sabbath, for a little while now. So could you just tell us a bit about that? That would be really helpful.
Yeah, I guess I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I was having treatment for cancer, and so it wasn't really possible during that time. I just did not have the energy to do it. I guess I was resting a lot, but not deliberately. So when that finished, I found I had a lot more energy, and so we could start to do that. And that was when we were still in Hempstead. I think it was probably the end of last summer that we started to do that. And at first we started on a Friday night, and we Sabbath Friday night to Saturday. But now it's changed a lot over the time, and now we're doing it Saturday night till Sunday night. And it looks a lot different now. We're living here. We're now in a family group with my parents and my sister. So it's not only been a journey to learn how to Sabbath, which I think we're still on, but it has just naturally had to change a lot, and we've had to do a lot of shifting and thinking about what it looks like because of our circumstances changing.
Yeah, sure. I think that's a really helpful point to make, actually, because it's not a static thing, is it? It's not like you kind of do a few tries at it and then you're like, yay, we've nailed it, great, Sabbath, tick. It is an evolving thing, I think, and I think even like I'm sort of seeing that as our children grow older, the way that we do Sabbath may well change, because it will look different. But I just want to pick up, so it was really interesting. So you make sure that you do a 24-hour period, because last week we were just looking at having a conversation and maybe trying out these very early stages of what does it look like to Sabbath. So we were saying it's really great if it can be 24 hours, and you guys obviously do that. Do it from an evening meal through to the next early evening, is that right?
Yeah, so right now we have an evening meal together, and we will generally have a special drink. So Kev and my sister have wine, and me and the kids have juice, and we'll break some bread, and we've got a couple of different liturgies or kind of little services that we read together. Just we don't do the same one every time. We like to do different ones, and it draws, we like the candles, so some of them say like, Jesus, light of the world, we welcome you at this time, and then we thank God for the food, and we thank him for the drink, and then we just enjoy a nice meal together. Awesome. And then we finish, we just got into this naturally. I don't know, I hadn't actually read in the book where he says you should have something to finish the time period off with, but naturally on a Sunday evening we read Narnia together, and that's what we do to finish it off with, really.
Love that.
Yeah. So that works really well for our family at the moment. And obviously the kids love the books and they love to be read to.
That sounds great. Thank you for sharing that. So one of the other things last week was about how the word Sabbath, the Hebrew word Shabbat, has these sort of has several different meanings. So one of them is to rest and stop, which we understand is to stop from our work and to rest, which can look like different things for us. But one of the other things was about how it can mean delight. And I just wondered if that kind of resonates with anything about the way that you do Sabbath, or the way that you have done it in the times that you've been trying.
Yeah.
I think that's a really amazing word, that we're made to delight during that day. But I think it might be one that's quite hard to kind of fathom out what it looks like for us. So does that feature for you at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all love food, and so we try and make sure that the food is something that we're all going to enjoy, that's really delicious. And we always have pudding, which is different from the rest of the week because we don't have pudding the rest of the week. So then it's something that's really special, and they know that they're probably going to get a lot more sugar in the Sabbath period than they do the rest of the week. So for the kids, that's something to look forward to. And I guess delight, the rest of the delight probably comes from going for a walk and trying to spot some birds that my son loves. Or last weekend it was really frosty, so we went out with my sister early in the morning and they jumped in icy puddles.
Oh, cool.
So there was a lot of delight in God's creation in that moment. It has been interesting since being here, because there's a lot more people to kind of curate, I guess.
Yeah.
So we have been watching the Grand Prix for many Sabbaths, which is something that my dad delights in, and the kids really enjoy as well. So that's been okay, and it's been a great way for them to spend time with him.
Great. I love that. There's just so many different things that, like you say, your dad delights in the Grand Prix, and you can delight in that shared experience, even though it might not be something that you would all naturally choose. But being a family together often means that, doesn't it? Actually, we enter into things that other people would like to do, and we delight in doing it with them. And I think that's definitely, when you are a family of different generations, whether that's parents and children or more generations, that's definitely going to be a facet of the day, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's great. Okay, so this week we are coming on to look at exercise 2, which is the preparation day. So I wondered if you could just very quickly give us a little overview of what is the preparation day.
So I have been through many stressful days thinking I have to get everything done and it needs to be perfect. So that has been a very interesting journey in itself, because I think I've now got to the point where I realise that if actually I don't have everything done, it's more important to not stress about that, and then I will enter into rest more, even if I am then still cooking, instead of having all the food prepared beforehand. Because if I come to it with anxiety and stress, then I won't get anything out of the 24-hour period. Whereas if I come to it with almost a nonchalance, like, okay, it's fine, it doesn't matter if I haven't got it all ready and I haven't done all the things I wanted to do, then we will just be able to take what time we can together in that 24-hour period and enjoy that. So that's been really important for me, and I would really encourage you not to worry about getting everything done on the preparation day to start with. I think it's hard at the moment. I think, none of us want to go to the shops very often, and here we can't go to the shops at all, so we have to really plan in advance and get everything we want on our 1 week shop delivery. So I think we need to give ourselves a lot of grace in this season where it's not so safe to go to the shops a lot and just pop out. But ideally, I would like to plan and cook a meal that then doesn't involve lots of washing up afterwards. So it's nice if it's a one pot dish, because we did try leaving all the washing up for the 24-hour period, but that was something that really stressed Kev out. So if it's gonna cause more stress for him, then that's not restful. So he likes to get the clearing up done. So that's a compromise that we came to, because I was quite happy to just put it all in the laundry room sink and leave it. But now we live in a caravan, so we actually can't leave it because we only have 4 plates and 4 bowls. So
just to kind of just to pause there for a minute. So one of the things that like traditionally for the Jews, and like especially when Jesus was, you know, walking on the earth, they would have had their Sabbath, their Shabbat would have been a Saturday, because that's the day they had in a week. And so Friday would have been preparation day, getting with a special meal first of all that evening, the Shabbat meal. And the idea really is that no one should have to work to prepare food, ideally, during the Sabbath. And, you know, yes, you can think, well, could we leave the washing up, or could we make the least washing up that we can? I love that idea. So that actually, you know, particularly for those of us in the home, and it's often mothers, but not always. And my husband is brilliant at doing the washing up. But where we sort of do that day in, day out, preparing meals, preparing food, that actually also the Sabbath includes a rest from that as well, to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in more normal times, you know, a Sabbath meal might include going out for a meal, if that's something that you can do, because then it just takes away that element of preparation and clearing up again afterwards, isn't it? So preparation day would have been, for the Jews, would have been cleaning your house, so that it's very restful and calm for Sabbath, I guess, getting the food ready, I guess, and doing any errands and things. And so John Mark Comer gives us this sort of thing, and he says, make a plan. And he says, because Sabbath is a discipline, so we're talking about these as spiritual disciplines. So we did silence and solitude, and now we're looking at the discipline of doing Sabbath. And because it's a discipline, it takes preparation and planning to make it happen. It doesn't just go, oh, let's do a Sabbath and we're all ready. That we do actually need to do that. So when you're talking about, you know, the preparation day, the idea really is to, as long as it doesn't create more stress, like you said, is to just think ahead a little bit and think, well, what things might I do on that day that actually I could do beforehand, so that that day is more restful. And I think particularly at the moment, we, like you say, we're just living in such strange times that we can't run around and do a million errands, and that's a good thing to help us towards Sabbathing, really, because it can't be, oh, I need to pop there and do that and pop there and do that. But, you know, just, yeah, things like making sure that we've maybe done all our emails, and if you normally check your emails on that day, putting a thing up, a reply that says I'm out of the office for the day, or, you know, something like that. And yeah, just kind of trying to make sure that you have got everything in that you need for meals and those kind of things. So the one that I find really hard at the moment is that I would love a nice, calm, clean, tidy house. I just would love that generally. And I got to where term was supposed to start thinking, yay, everybody's been at home for 2.5 weeks. Now I'll be able to like blitz the house and it'll be all nice and calm and clean. And then they haven't gone anywhere, which is totally fine. And I really love having them at home. But it does make that whole thing of like cleaning the house on a Friday when we're trying to work and trying to homeschool the kids now. And you have the same, that can be really, you know, difficult and not easy. And like you, I've had to just kind of go, it hasn't got to go, never mind. But then also make that choice on the Sabbath not to do those things.
Yeah.
So I always, for months now since we started trying, I've tried to make sure that I've done washing on a Friday evening, because we were doing Saturday, and then got it all hung up to dry, so that on the Sabbath I don't need to do any washing for us for Saturday. And then it does, you know, but at the moment it just isn't working quite the same. And last Friday night the washing basket was full, and I got to Saturday and I was itching to put the washing machine on, and I had to really hold myself back and go, do you know what, this is supposed to be my day of rest as well. and I'm going to choose not to, and it'll all still be there tomorrow, and so will the washing machine be. Thank you, God, that we live in a country where we have those things. But actually the washing can wait, and there is a discipline in that, in actually saying to myself, it's okay, you can leave that, because this is supposed to be your day of rest. And there is that element of preparation, but also an element of giving yourself grace to not do those things on the Sabbath if you haven't got them done the day before. Does that resonate at all with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I too try and make sure that I've done some washing on Friday or Saturday, so that the basket isn't completely overflowing by Monday. And I mean, I don't have a lot of admin to do, so that doesn't really apply to me. But in terms of keeping the house clean, it is really hard, especially if you have kids at home all the time, which we do at the moment, and I have homeschooled for the past 6 years, so have done. And I think even though I would like to make an effort, again, it's more about my attitude towards it. So it's more restful, yeah, if I've let it go and I say it doesn't matter.
Yeah, sure.
And then I can enter more into rest and worship. But that has been hard to learn to let that go. And it has been a discipline to learn to let it go and to say, that doesn't matter, this is what's important now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through, so we've just been talking about preparation for the Sabbath, and that being part of the discipline. And John Mark Comer just gives us 3 really quick points. He says to have a go at preparation day. So this is what we'd like you to talk about this week, and maybe have a go at, and just, or maybe start to think about, what does that look like for you in your situation, is to firstly make a plan. So it's really just saying, what needs to be done before I get to Sabbath, so that Sabbath can be a restful day. And then if you like writing lists, then write yourself a little list. So it might be that you think, I really need to remember to do a load of washing before Sabbath starts, so that I'm not stressed about the basket being overflowing. Or just make sure that you've got groceries in for whatever feast meal you're going to have, or special food you're going to have, to delight in on the Sabbath. And just some bits and pieces like that, or making sure that you've sent that email so that you're not thinking about it all day long on the Sabbath. And then he says, don't let stress ruin the start of your Sabbath, which I think is what we've really been talking about. And he says, all these details can spike our anxiety. Don't worry about the perfect Sabbath. Just get what you can get done in your allotted time, and then relax into the goodness of what is, without letting it get drowned out by what could be. And I think that's just what we've been talking about, isn't it? Like, we could spend the day of Sabbath in regret of, because I didn't get that done, and that's totally not the point of Sabbath at all. And it is that learning to let some of this stuff go, be prepared if we can, but if we didn't, just let it go, because in the end it'll still be there the next day, and it'll be okay. And then he says, number 3, spend an entire day in rest and worship, and again, just giving ourselves the grace for the things that didn't happen, and saying, I don't need to do those today, they wait, because this is a day of rest. So thank you so much, Rachel. It's really great to talk to you. It's very nice to see you. And I hope, for those of you who are watching, that this has just been helpful for you to understand a little bit of what preparation day is like, so that you can now go forward into your week and to your Connect groups, and just start having conversation of, what do you think about that? What does it look like for you? Is that something that you could work into what having a go at Sabbath will look like for you in the coming weeks? Great to see you, Rachel. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hi guys, it's so good to have you this morning, whether it be on Facebook or on Zoom. We are Helmond Vineyard Church, and we're just doing life together as we follow Jesus. If you want to be part of that journey, then feel free to come and join us, whether it be on Zoom, again on Facebook next week, or drop us a line and have a conversation with us. We'd love to hear from you. Another place you can find out what's going on would be to check out our website, which is www.helmondvineyard.org. hemmelvineyard.org.uk. I pray this week that you would know Jesus' love and his presence with you in whatever you face. See you next week. Bye.